Welcome to Electrified. It's your host, Dylan Loomis. This week was a pretty quiet news week, so I'm aiming for a very efficient video today to send you off into the weekend. First up, from Gregor Truck, the Cybertruck was doing some testing in the wind tunnel, but in this video we get to see the Gigawiper actually in action. More importantly, from Gregor Truck, we get an image of the Cybertruck Frunk actually open, and as you can see, the front bumper area is actually lifting up with the hood for the Frunk. To me, this has always seemed like a crucial feature, especially to be able to set things in the Frunk much easier, to have that part of the bumper also coming up, so this is great to see. You may recall last week how we talked about Tesla's inventory currently sitting at about 16 days of inventory, and here we get this article from Cox talking about what's going on with the industry. Here's a high-level view of the industry, and you can see in green the nationwide average is 56 days of inventory compared to Tesla's 16 that, remember, some people started to slightly panic about, and plenty of the industry is actually well above that 56 number. I've said in the past, if Tesla's days of inventory goes over 30, then it's something we'll have to dive into and take a look at to figure out what's going on, but for now, not a problem the way I see it. Tesla has set up a new energy company in Shanghai. This should come as no surprise with the recent announcement of the new Megapack factory coming to the region. They're saying it has a registered capital of $2 million, but I'm sure we'll learn more about this in the weeks ahead. Speaking of Tesla Energy, the Powerwall is now available to a brand new market. This time around, it's Thailand. You may have seen globally, specifically in parts of the EU, Tesla has again cut prices in multiple different countries. And not just in the EU, but in Hong Kong as well. Some are going into effect as of tomorrow. Now, depending on the country, the price cuts have been anywhere from 2 to 3% up to 15% in some cases, like this one for the Model 3 Performance in Hong Kong. And this chart has the United States prices compared to the highest price and the resulting delta. I know plenty of the Tesla community is split on this topic. Honestly though, for me, nothing has changed. Elon literally told us that through this recession, Tesla is going to be willing to give up some margin to lower prices and keep the growth intact. At this point, from a long-term perspective, it's far more important for Tesla to be gaining market share and continually expanding production and to reach new markets, more so than having a couple extra basis points of margin for the short term. The thing is, a few years from now, if Tesla can deliver anything near a robotaxi, they could basically sell cars at a loss because they'll be able to make that up when it comes to FSD and software sales, especially if those vehicles are in a wider base of customers' hands. We'll find out a little bit on April 19th how far Tesla's margins have come down, and then we'll get even more information into quarter 2 and quarter 3 when some of these price cuts actually flow through to the financials. But again, the plan has been laid out by Elon and Tesla, and I just happen to agree with it. It's okay to give up some margin to make sure that Tesla continues to grow through this slowdown. In Q1 this year, Lucid produced 2,314 vehicles and delivered 1,406. The consensus expectation was somewhere in the neighborhood of 2,000 vehicles delivered for the quarter, so from that regard, Lucid fell short. Both of those figures are actually down sequentially quarter over quarter compared to Q4 when Lucid produced 3,493 and only delivered 1,932. Previously, Lucid actually guided for between 10 and 14,000 units produced this year, so this quarter 1 result is already short of that pace. And don't forget, last month Lucid had to cut 18% of its workforce, so definitely trying times for Lucid. We have Rivian making a pretty big change when it comes to its motors. The problem has been they don't have enough computer chips for the third-party motors they've been using. So they're now shifting to internally developed electric drive units named Enduro for their next generation of vehicles, presumably the R2 smaller, more compact lineup. But it sounds like this is not just for the next-gen vehicles. They plan to use a new 2-motor design, front and rear, in the R1T and the R1S, and this Enduro motor is already being used in commercial vans. Rivian's CFO has said the Enduro design requires fewer critical semiconductors per vehicle, and this shift will unlock a new secondary supply base of our power semiconductors within the plant. The production line for this Enduro motor is already in place in the Normal facility in Illinois, and they plan to introduce them into consumer vehicles later in the year, in addition to the delivery vans. Check out this headline from the German publication Handelsblatt, the plug-in disaster at VW, BMW, and Mercedes. The gist of that article is that Audi plans to stop selling plug-in hybrid vehicles in the Chinese market due to falling sales, and now, believe it or not, they will focus on electric vehicle sales. For me, this type of shift has just felt like a matter of time. The fact is, plug-in hybrids have more parts, there's more complexity, they're more costly, it's just not sustainable, especially now with battery technology progressing and the supply chains being built out, and success leaves clues, and right now, the main success story in the auto market is of course Tesla. Things seem to be progressing with VW's new upcoming adventure brand Scout that will be geared for the American market. The groundbreaking of a South Carolina assembly plant may happen later this year, and then customer deliveries in 2026. It sounds like they're building this to be a brand like Rivian, but with the backing and expertise of VW, so they're looking to have both an SUV and a pickup truck under this label. It's definitely early, we really don't have any other detail, but something to keep in mind. As if Elon didn't have enough on his plate already, it sounds like he's moving forward with this company to challenge OpenAI. This is an article heavy with people familiar with the matter, but either way, Elon has been talking to investors in SpaceX and Tesla about putting money into this new venture. We of course heard about Elon buying GPU processors from Nvidia, and we learned that Elon has been recruiting engineers from some top AI labs like DeepMind, and so far it sounds like Elon has about a half dozen or so engineers ready to go. Of course, this would be a separate venture from Elon's other businesses, but you can guarantee there's going to be more cross-pollination as we've seen across the years, especially when it comes to things like Dojo and full self-driving, so could be some mutual benefit in there as well. Farzad said there's a real possibility Tesla is the only publicly traded mass market automaker that will be cash flow positive by 2026. And for some reason, if you scroll down through the comments, you'll see Elon agreed, saying true. You can find me on Twitter at DylanLoomis22. Go and enjoy your weekends. Stay safe. Please like the video if you did. And a huge thank you to all of my Patreon supporters.